Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I wasn't asked why I'm convinced. Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block, on a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At Enchain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts, basically ones that can run operating systems. That's basically all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. Good afternoon, everybody. It looks like we are live just after 5. I can see we got 2 people watching in the chat box. Thanks very much for joining me. Welcome to the show. Just a quick one today. I'm getting into old habit saying it's just a quick one today. I know I usually ramble on for a little bit, but had to go over a few topics today that were that were actually getting me really quite excited. So I was like, right, I'm just going to talk about that on the show today. But before we do that, let's just simply go over the statistics. If you saw my show yesterday with River, we went over this Tulip Trust doc. And it just got me thinking, look at the dates. So we know that Bitcoin started, or the white paper was released on the 31st of October, 2008. And then this Tulip Trust was created on it looks like the 6th of September 2011. So almost just a little under 2 years. 2 years for the first 1,100,111 Bitcoin to be put into the trust, very carefully planned. But look at the date here. Look. So that was the 6th of the 9th, so I'm assuming that's the 6th of September. And to be returned to Dr. Wright on the 1st of January 2020. So that indicates to me that this first 10 years of Bitcoin growth and development has been a specific period. So that has come with time. That's come with time. And decentralization requires all these things. So it requires a number of competing parties within the system. So decentralization is not a state. Decentralization is a concept, a dynamic concept that is constantly evolving. How big does it have to be in order to prevent the system from being corrupted and bribed? Well, again, there is no fixed sum. How much is enough? How many is enough competing nodes and miners on the network? That's the point. It's like, how much is enough? And decentralization is a constant state because if the market is not continually increasing, if there's not new market for the miners or the payment processors to compete for, they then have to start taking market share from their competitors, which centralizes the system. Yeah, so I posted, it was this chat, it inspired this tweet early this morning where I said, Bitcoin is only just beginning. Phase 1, between its white paper released on the 31st of October 2008 and the 1st of January 2020 return of the Tulip Trust, was the development of credibility through decentralization. So that's the period, like the historic period in Bitcoin. So I think we need a name for this period. Like we've got the crustacean period and the Jurassic period in the world. We need to give names to these Bitcoin periods. I didn't realize the significance of this, but that Tulip Trust, and Craig knows this. I know he knows this. He might not want to admit it, but I know he knows this. He has planned everything. So we need a name for this period between October 31st and Jan 1st, 2020. So this is really exciting. It's really exciting. I mean, literally, so we can say that, the real building of Bitcoin really only started on the 1st of January this year. And we're only 6 months into it. This is it. We are now building Bitcoin. We are now seeing the value that it is going to have. And Craig will not use this Tulip Trust until he is absolutely certain that the BSV ecosystem has got enough value in it and has enough speed, cost, and scale to prevent any other competition from emerging. That's the whole point. It's all about competition. So at the moment we're competing with these other chains, and yeah, fair enough. We need these other chains gone, but at the same time, you can't just kind of like get rid of all the other chains and then weaken your own army, as it were. Your army needs to be fully functional, engines revving, indestructible. Like nothing can compete with it. It has to outperform everything, because if it can't, something else will just simply come along. We now have the BSV Devs Transaction Highway, but I think there were so many people that went to the website that the website crashed. But this was awesome. All these transactions going through on the network. It was brilliant to watch. Literally, back in the day when there was the TX Highway of BTC and BCH. But I mean, look at that. I think there was a huge volume of traffic to the site that I posted out. I mean, luckily I screenshotted it. I couldn't help but putting the little logo of Craig up there smoking a cigar. I was like, yeah, that is great. That is the bomb. But yeah, people, that's all I wanted to say today. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there. See everybody soon. See you later.